Welcome to the Poetry of Painting. And this week, it's my great pleasure to welcome back, after way too long an interval since last time, the wonderful Scottish poet Martin Goldie. So welcome to you all, and welcome to Martin. Hi Martin,
Hi,
how are
Fiona.
you?
I'm good, thanks you.
Good.
Thanks for having me back on.
It's a great pleasure.
It has been a while, but it's nice to be back on the show.
Well, it's great to have you back. And let me just say to everybody else, welcome. Don't be shy. If you've got any questions or comments, please do put them in there and we will answer them as best we can. And if you're watching on replay, we'll get round to them once we've seen them after you've posted them. So do join in, be lovely. And yeah, it's supposed to be fun. So what have you been up to, Martin, just before we do the poem and that? What's been going on in your world?
Yeah, I've been busy doing shows. Now that everything's opening up, I've been doing poetry shows in pubs in Glasgow, and got the Balloch that I go to. And I've been able to incorporate poetry workshops with the Zoom session, with the open mic sessions, taking the opportunity of being in Glasgow to go to the workshops that are there. And there's one that meets in the West End of Glasgow in Partick, which is right on the Clyde, and it's really good. We had a great day last week, a beautiful sunny day, and we just go for a walk, do a bit of reading. And
so is that reading someone else's?
Just try and produce something from the day.
So is that reading someone else's poetry for inspiration and learning, or?
It's sorry, Fiona. It's
sorry. You say you did some
bad line, but it's.
You said you did some reading of the poetry. Is that someone else's poetry for, just learning experience, or what?
It's basically the facilitator is a poet, and he brings a selection of poems for us to read, and we then do a wee writing session and see if we can come up with something based on what we see and what we hear and what's about us, and it's quite nice to get prompted in that way. So I managed to get 2 poems sort of roughly started, and then I just work on them in the comfort of my home, and come up with reasonably sort of happy with the poems that have been produced from those workshops. Excellent. So it's nice to get different prompts. And come up with different sort of styles, which is nice.
And is that based on the reading that the facilitator has provided to give you inspiration for trying different styles? And
well, I think that's the idea. I sometimes go off at tangents, but we'll read different poets, and then he will maybe give a prompt to sort of get your mind working, and then you just sort of note sort of what your thoughts or what you see or what you feel or whatever, and then I tend to get something that sort of resembles a poem quite quick, and then just work from it from that. And I've been lucky in the 2 sessions I've managed to get 3 poems that I'm reasonably happy with, which is quite nice.
Lovely, excellent. Well, I'm sure everybody is waiting to hear your poem for tonight as well. So we'll carry on with everything else that's been going on afterwards. So let me just put the painting up on the screen so people can see it. It is on the wall behind me, so it's not huge. I think it's 20 centimeters by 50, and it's in oils as normal on canvas. and it's called The View from How Hill, which is in Norfolk. But I think as far as that goes, you just knew it was the view from How Hill, Martin. I don't think you knew anything much else about the painting. So
well, I didn't know much about it. I looked at, I knew it was in the Norfolk Broads, and sort of had a wee look, tried to sort of get an idea of the landscape and the place that would sort of influence the poem. So hopefully,
I think the windmills are giveaway as well. Yeah, I think having windmills in it is a bit of a giveaway as well, isn't it? If it's in this country, anyway.
Well, it's a nice subject as well to bring into the poem.
Well, would you like to either tell us about how you came up with the poem, or read the poem first, or whatever you'd like to do?
Well, whatever you fancy. I basically I always have a look as closely as I can at what I see in the painting, and try to sort of, produce the poem from the elements that I see there, and I'll expand by maybe using my imagination in terms of what will be there but not visible in the painting, but it's obviously there, or can be there, and it sort of builds from that. Is how I tend to do it. So it's quite an interesting process, because I suppose you learn a wee bit of base by looking at what wildlife would be there, and what sort of foliage, and whatever sort of it's there, or behind the scene, if you like.
Yes. So I had the advantage of painting this actually on site. So I, when I think about it, I know what the weather was like, and then I can the sounds that were around me, and even the smells, because every place has got its own different smell to it, whether it's woodland or grassland or whatever. So I had the advantage with that I was actually there on site. But
that's nice.
So, would you like to read your poem for us? Then?
Absolutely.
I'm dying to hear it. So
let's say A View from How Hill. Past silk streams sun, benign clouds slowly drift between listless blue and lemon pale in sultry heat. Above chrome's pan broads, rare marbled white, and swallowtails sail on the wing. From secret nests, scarce nightingale deign to sing. Past ornamental mills, grey ant, languid flows. On perfumed bank, shy booming chocolate bittern hide. On slow waters, timeless wherries restored with love from life of sloth. For a ransom sail gin-breath tourists past coot nests, among shivering reeds hidden safe. On empty banks, patient blades plead for wind to whir on gentle breeze. In ants' dark depths, slender pike and drowned rushes luck, for leery ducklings patient wait. In old dark wood, row in shade rest and graze, by roaring gently whine. On distant Turner seas, edgy waves creep unmolested, threaten coast and Broad's limp mills. On blue horizon, hazy Ludham weary sits, its writing on the wall, its steeple aimed at God. Thank you.
Wow, that's beautiful. And I lost count of all the different bird species that you had in there as well. The swallow's tail, and the bitterns, and the coots, and everything. Brilliant, lovely. And you really paint you we've got the painting, but you've really painted an intimate scene of it with your poem, you know, with the pike under the water, and we're getting some love hearts coming. Oh, Ritesh is on and says, wow. And Rosie is on saying, hello, Martin, just in time. Great, Rosie. I'm glad you got there for the poem. And welcome to you, Ritesh, and Rosie as well. Lovely to have you on the show with us here. So do pop your comments and questions in. But that was brilliant. Love it. So yeah, evocative, you know, and just adding to the you know, what I saw in the painting there. So Rosie says, lovely description. Absolutely, Rosie, wasn't it? So magic. And I'm hoping that, as normal, Martin, you'll allow me to post that in due course. Send me a copy of it with the painting.
Yeah, no bother.
Brilliant, yeah. So I think you've got some exciting news for us about a book. Am I right?
One a Scottish publisher based in Glasgow had shown interest in publishing a collection of my poems. So I've sent about, I think it's about 52 poems to her recently, and hopefully they'll be published either at the end of this year or the beginning of next year. So
excellent.
It's quite exciting, that.
Yeah. Oh, just interject here. Rosie asks, is this an actual place? Absolutely it is, Rosie. It's in Norfolk, and I was sitting at near the top of How Hill, which is not a massive hill. It's Norfolk after all. There's nothing massive in the way of hills in Norfolk. And looking out over the Ant River, and sorry, the name of the windmills just escaped me, but it's actually a real place with a real windmill there, which has been restored. So yeah, and you're absolutely right. Martin does have such a great voice for poetry. I love hearing his voice.
You.
Don't mean to make you blush, Martin, but I love hearing your voice and reading poetry. It's just amazing. Lovely. So, book end of this year, beginning of next. Wow. That's going to be good.
Yeah, so it's very exciting to have happened so quickly. It was really nice. And forward, I've sent the sort of draft of poems, and I've still to have the conversation. A lot of my poems are quite long, so there might be issues in some of them getting sort of selected, but I'll wait and see what the conversation brings. But it will be really nice to get a collection of my poems out.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, the book that is with the publishers at the moment for mine, which is my artwork and my poems, as you know, some of yours included. I'm still waiting to hear from her, because she wanted to get the first proof done to see how they do look before she says, okay, this one needs to be cut down a bit. There was one of yours, a couple of yours, in fact. There was Rugged Sentinels, there was the river one as well. That was quite long, and a few others by other people that no, but they're beautiful. They just tell such a wonderful story, you know, and the poem is wonderful. But for the actual typesetting and that, some of them may still need to be cut down a bit. But the publisher wanted to set them out first and see how they looked, so that you know, we keep as much as possible of them, rather than losing something that we didn't need to lose. So yeah. Well, a river runs through it. That was the one, wasn't it? Another long one that you did.
Sea Green was quite lengthy as well.
Yes, yeah. So I'll be coming back to you on those probably once I hear from her.
For the collection, I've used I think 2 or 3 of your poems, and I've had that same sort of issue. And what I've done is, there's a couple of poems that there's one Light and Shade that there was basically 2 it was almost like two poems. If you looked at it, it was like two poems in one, and they split quite easily. And Rugged Sentinels, there was a abstracted one section out of that was quite that stood alone, quite strong, and it because I thought there'll be too many poems that are taking up too many pages, if you like, in the format that the collection would be printed in. So, but I'll have to wait and see what the publisher thinks of the length of poems. But they know that that's my sort of style was to write quite lengthy poems. So hopefully it will not be too much of an issue.
Well, they're used to doing it. They should know all the the ways of
that's right.
getting as much in as possible. So yeah, it's just wait and see, I suppose, isn't it, as to how much needs to be edited for the book purpose. But I mean, you've still got the whole poem for other purposes, of course, anyway. So, which is lovely. So yeah. Well, I was hoping that our book, it's not just my book, it's our book, because it's me, you, and all the other poets as well, would be ready by the end of July, just gone on Sunday, but due to some unforeseen circumstances, which that's life, things happen, hopefully it's going to be ready by the end of this month, which I'd really like it by the end of this month, because I'm doing the art fair, the contemporary art fair at Sandown at the end of next month, which is the 23rd, 24th and 25th September. And that's down in Surrey. So anybody that wants to go and would like tickets, either keep an eye on my feed or drop me a line just so I can add you to the list and make sure that you get free tickets to come to the fair. There'll be lots and lots of artists there, lots of different work to see, and mine, of course. And hopefully it'd be lovely to meet some of you if you can make it there, because it's lovely making friends on Facebook, but it's just so lovely to actually meet people in the flesh as well. So hopefully by the end of next month the book will be ready, so fingers crossed on that one. And then I've got another exhibition this month, which is a group exhibition, and that's the Association of Sussex Artists, and that's at the Drill Hall in Horsham, which is West Sussex. So I've got 6 paintings going in for that, and that's on from the 18th to the 27th of this month, 18th or 19th. So there's a private view on the Thursday night. I think that's the 18th. So if you want tickets for that, just let me know. And then it's open to the public from the Saturday through to the 27th of August. And there's normally 200 to 300 paintings there. Obviously, I don't know at the moment because the entries aren't all in, but it's a very good exhibition. If anyone's in the Sussex area and like to come along, just let me know, and I can provide some more information or tickets to the private view. So it's a busy time at the moment, and I think you've got some more open mics and things all lined up as well, Martin. Is that right?
Yeah, there's quite a few. There's a reasonably close. I'm a wee bit rural, so it can be an issue getting to them. But there's Balloch is one I go to pretty much every month, and there's I know the oldest pub in Glasgow, the Scotia. It's famous for folk music and it's got a history of poetry. They've started a poetry night, so I've been there a couple of times.
Yeah.
And
how long does it take you to get?
There's a place in the city centre, and funnily enough, my boy is a poet, and he came and read at the same night just last week. So it's always I think it's twice we've been at this. In fact, 3 times we've read at the same venue. So it's always quite nice to read at the same venues as Alan.
Yes, yeah.
He's a great poet, but so he's quite entertaining. He's an actor, so instead of me just reading, he plays out the parts, which is quite entertaining.
Yeah,
he's good.
Oh, maybe we can get him on the show.
Well, maybe say to him sometime.
Yeah, yeah, it'd be great. And maybe we do a show with the three of us, so father and son poets on the show.
I'll certainly have a word with him and try and get him on.
See if he's interested, because that'd be lovely. Yeah, because I would imagine his style is going to be different from yours, because although you're father and son, you're individuals, aren't you? So yeah. And how long does it take you to get to Glasgow from where you are?
It's well, it's about an hour, maybe. You've got a ferry. There's a ferry involved, and then it's 20 minutes in the ferry, and maybe just over 40 minutes. Depends on the traffic, but it's not so far away.
Yeah.
And you've got you can drive round. We're not in an island, we're in a peninsula, so you can drive round, but it's quite a drive. So I usually go. I quite often use the train. I can get the ferry that connects with the train, and it takes me right into the city, which I quite enjoy.
Yeah.
And you've no hassles parking or anything like that, so it's quite relaxing.
Yeah. So can you walk to the ferry, or do you need to drive? So
I need to drive. I'm about 20 minutes outside Dunoon. So I drive into Dunoon, leave the car, and then just get the ferry.
Okay.
And then there's a wee passenger ferry that takes you across to the railway station.
Yeah.
And there is the option of the car ferry as well, but I usually just take the passenger ferry and connect with the train.
Yeah.
And it's quite an easy journey.
Must be a lot easier than parking in Glasgow itself as well.
Yeah, that's imagine. Right. It can be quite. It's a busy place.
Yes. Yeah. So, any other publications you've been in lately? Because I know over the last few months you've actually appeared in a few different publications as well, haven't you?
There's a couple. I'm trying to think. The last. I did well. I'd get 4 poems into it's a charity book. I think I told you about it.
Yeah.
For Parkinson's. That's out. Yeah. That's available on Amazon. Penned Poetry, I think it's called.
And will you put us the link in after we finish the show, Martin?
Well, as you know, I'm not very good at taking. I don't think I've ever linked anything, and I should.
Send me the details and I'll put the link in then.
I'll do that.
We'll get it in there one way or another for you.
Yeah.
Because that's such a good cause as well.
Yeah. So, I don't think there's anything else recently. Partly because I've got this collection, so I've been basically holding everything.
Yes.
And I've been quite lucky. I've wrote quite a few poems recently, but they've all been with a view to going into the collection.
Right.
So I've not actually sent them anywhere, looking to get sort of published in pamphlets or anthologies or anything like that, because I'd rather keep them brand new for the collection.
Absolutely, yes. Rosie says she'd like the folk nights as well. Rosie's into her folk, yes. And unlike me, that would just go and sit and listen because nobody wants to hear me sing. Of course, Rosie does actually sing, and
I know
she's sung quite a few of her own songs at the folk night. So she was telling us on the show last week. So that's brilliant. You know, I'd love to be able to sing because it's something that you've got with you all the time as well.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, an instrument, unless it's something really small, you don't carry it with you everywhere. And
that's right.
Certainly not a piano.
A great talent.
Yes, but oh well, never mind. You can't be good at everything, I guess.
No, that's right. But Rosie would love the Scotia's a right good atmosphere, and there's always music and poetry, and the avant-garde is the same. It's always get music, sort of with the poetry. So it makes it a sort of interesting night, and it's something different. Some of the artists are great. I'm sure Rosie would like that.
Do you ever have music on in the background while you're reading, or is it just music, poetry, music?
Well, some of the poets have music accompanying them. I've not done it yet. I don't know. I can't think, because I'm not musical. I can't think of any of my poems that would lend itself to that. But there are some that do.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just finding the right piece of music.
Yeah, that's
probably there's the right piece of music for every poem. It's just finding them. Oh, Rosie says tonight she's playing ukulele and Ken's playing the mandolin or guitar. We're off now, so thanks both of you for a great poem and painting. Thank you, Rosie. Thanks for listening in. Really appreciate it. I know that your Wednesdays are crazy busy, so we do appreciate that. Thank you so much, and enjoy it. Enjoy your folk group.
Rosie, enjoy it.
And so I think it's just a matter of finding the right piece of music.
Yeah, that's right.
And maybe
the musicians are good enough. They've got an ear that sometimes they'll just improvise along with the poem.
Oh,
it's great. I've not done it yet. I've not done it myself, but it's quite good to watch, and you see them picking up the rhythm of the poem and bringing out the music to go with it. It's really quite good.
Yeah. That's great. And just there's some people that can play beautifully, but they have to have the music in front of them. The sheet music. And and there are other people that can play beautifully and they just pick it up by ear and just play.
Right.
And just a wonderful skill, wonderful talent to have. So I was just thinking this morning they played Billy Joel's Piano Man on the radio, which is a lovely song, and it just reminded me years back I used to go to a bar up in London sometimes, and there would be a lovely guy there sitting playing piano, and you could go up to him and ask him for just about any song or piece of music, and if he didn't know it, or if you didn't know the name, he'd say, "Oh, well, hum it," which wouldn't have worked with me because he still wouldn't have got it if it was me. But never mind. And he would just play it. Just about anything he was ever asked to play, he could just play it. No music, just out of his head. Just absolutely incredible, and a lovely guy as well. Yeah. So I don't know if he's still there.
I do envy musicians.
Yes, yeah. But I used to play violin and guitar, not so much the guitar, and recorder when I was at school as well to start with. And I was in the youth orchestra, Bristol Youth Orchestra, playing the violin for a while. But after exams and everything and leaving school,
you need to keep it going, sort of, I think, don't you?
Yeah, it fell by the wayside really. So I do still have the violin, but I haven't played it in a long while.
That's a shame. I really should have a revisit.
Well, I think it would be better off if I found it a new good home with someone who wants to learn and needs one and can't afford one to practice on. So I think I need to find a good home for it, really. I think that would be better. It'd get more use that way, because I just wouldn't have the time to start it again and to put enough time in to make it sound even half decent. So that's one of my jobs.
That's the thing. They are time consuming, but it's worth it. I'd imagine it's quite relaxing.
Or frustrating when it doesn't go
violin of an evening.
But on the other hand, I have my painting and drawing. And
that's right.
Now, so Well, Martin, we're getting to the end of our time already, I'm afraid. It's flown by, as it always does. So I'd just like to say thank you so much for writing yet another beautiful poem about one of my paintings. Really appreciate that. And thank you for coming on. Thank you to everybody else for watching and for leaving comments. And to say, if you're watching on replay, please leave some comments or ask questions, and we'll get back to you on those as soon as we can. So thanks everybody ever so much, and I'll be back again next Wednesday with another guest poet for the Poetry of Painting. Take care, everybody. Bye. Bye, Martin.
Bye now. Thank you, Fiona.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.